Guys, so George Kambosos is going to be taking on Devin Haney for their rematch for the 135 pounds undisputed, obviously, which Devin Haney won the first time. This fight is, to be honest, it's been a bit low key. I haven't really seen many people really talking about this fight. I don't really see a buzz on social media for this fight. Maybe because the first fight was kind of a let's just call it a snooze fest. The fight, it wasn't really exciting. Nothing really happened. No knockdowns. Obviously Devin Haney just, did what he was supposed to do and he boxed very well. But, it wasn't of what you would expect from a fight for undisputed. In any weight class, you expect it to be competitive. You expect there to be maybe a knockdown, someone shook to their boots, maybe someone's been dropped. The tide of the fight switches from one direction to another direction. But, it just seemed to be cruise control for Devin Haney. So, that's probably contributing to the fact why, people are not really as interested because there seems to be a lot of other fights this weekend clouding this fight. You've got Deontay Wilder's comeback against Robert Helenius. You've got Clarissa Shields, taking on Savannah Marshall. So there's quite a few, fights going on. So there's other things where maybe people are more interested in fights they haven't seen before. So they've pretty much everyone's kind of put this fight on the back burner, but you can't really sleep on it. George Kambosos is looking to avenge his loss, and I'm very sure he's going to be bringing the smoke in this fight, and we have seen Devin Haney in the past. I can't remember who he fought that he was momentarily rocked. So, and, if George Kambosos can find that shot, to at least, catch Devin Haney's attention, maybe we could have an interesting fight. But obviously, I guess everyone's kind of leaning to, George Kambosos to, not George Kambosos, Devin Haney to just simply, get the job done. And I suspect if Devin Haney to obviously win this fight, I highly assume he might be moving up to 140 pounds because a lot of these guys, man, over time it becomes difficult, to keep making these 130, 135 pounds. Like you can clearly see from this picture that George Kambosos looks more natural at this weight than Devin Haney does. If you just because look at, you can tell it in his jawline, his face, you can see that he's not really supposed to be at this 130 pounds any longer. So I suspect, similar to Teofimo Lopez, he might be moving up to 140 pounds if he's to get the victory over George Kambosos, as well as the fact that you've got, a certain, fighter moving up to 135 pounds in Shakur Stevenson very soon. So maybe Shakur might just come up here and, start, and try to sweep the belts himself. But, it's going to be maybe an interesting fight. My attention is going to be more on the Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius fight. I'm going to check out to see what's going on with the Devin Haney Kambosos fight. But yeah, man, it should be interesting. It's just all going to be it's two directions. It's either Devin Haney's just going to do what he did last time and just be too skillful, too fast, too athletic for Kambosos, or Kambosos is going to try and press the action, force the issue, and risk getting, tagged himself, but maybe at least bring enough smoke where he's making the fight a lot more competitive, and you don't know, he might be able to sneak in that shot that, swings the fight in his favor. But man, smoke and mirrors, anything can happen. Again, it is just it's not heavyweight boxing, it is boxing. One shot, you catch someone the right way, get knocked down, all of a sudden they bring the sleeping bag in and then the person snoozing. So anything can happen, man. George Kambosos, has a chance, but for me, I am favoring Devin Haney to win this fight. I expect it to be a lot more competitive and a tougher fight than the first one, but I am expecting Devin Haney to win this fight by, I'll say, split decision, just because of I feel like George Kambosos might bring a bit more. Maybe one of the judges might favor him, but split decision for me, Devin Haney victory. And then for me, I feel like he's going to move up to 140 pounds, afterwards, because, who's there for him to really fight now at 135? I feel like Tank, Tank is kind of roaming between 140 and 135. That's a fight I still like to see Devin Haney fight Gervonta Davis, but I feel like because before the politics of that gets all sorted, I feel like Devin Haney would have moved up to 140 by then, and I suspect the Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, possibly Ryan Garcia as well. All of them, I feel like at 140 is where they're all going to meet up at some point, because a lot of them is going to be difficult to keep making this 135 pounds. So drop your comments in the comment section below. Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. Who's going to win this fight? What say you? Who do you think you know, first of all, who do you think wins this fight and by what method? And who do you want to see either man fight next? I know there's still Lomachenko out there, you know, but I feel like Devin Haney, if he, you know, wins these belts, maybe he might stay for one fight with Lomachenko, then move up. But let's see what happens, man. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Cool.